అందరికీ నమస్కారం స్వాగతం I welcome you all for day 17 Clep 2 spoken English series of SCERT Andhra Pradesh, which are streaming on SCERT official channel as well as your Facebook. So before going to start, let me welcome and introduce our today's resource person, Dr. Ravinarayan Chakrakodi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Sir, sorry for the delay from our side. Let me introduce today's resource persons to the viewers. So, Dr. Ravinarayan Chakrakodi is professor at the Regional Institute of English, South India, Bangalore, where he trains in-service teachers in English language pedagogy. He has an MA in TESOL with the distinction from the University of Lancaster, UK. He has worked as the chairperson of second language English textbooks for the Department of Education, Government of Karnataka. His book on Learn English, Teach English Skills for Teachers was published by the Oxford University Press of India. Such a eminent resource persons today we are having. To avoid further delay, I request Professor Ravinarayan Chakrakodi Garu to give his talk on assessing speaking. Good morning, sir. Welcome, and please start your.
Good morning,
session.
sir. Yeah. Good morning, sir. And thank you very much for the introduction. Good morning, teachers. Extremely sorry for the delay. There was some technical issue at the SCERT Andhra Pradesh. So I just hope we'll have a smooth session hereafter. Is my voice clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
There is a pause. Now
okay.
You can go ahead. Now, okay.
Yeah. Is it audible? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. I'm without much delay. I'm going to start the topic. The topic is assessment. We'll mainly look at assessing speaking. We won't talk much about assessing student speaking. We'll focus more on assessing ourselves, assessing my own skills to speak. Is it okay? Audio is fine, sir?
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Sir, okay, yeah? Sir. Fine, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm going to share the screen now. Yes. All right. Yes. So yes. So that's the topic.
Go for full screen, sir.
Yes, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, just 1 second. Yes. Okay. Yes. So year in which the coin was made, that's called in which the coin was minted. So teachers had to speak about that particular year. For example, if the teacher 11, for example. So this particular teacher called Shinaya from Andhra Pradesh, all right, he speaks about what he was doing in the year in which the coin was minted. Okay, so what you need to do is please listen to his speech carefully. You can make notes in your notebook, and then you have to assign a score. You have to mark his speech. What will be his score out of 10? So please give a mark out of 10. All right. You can use, I'm going to show you an app, a tool for marking that's called Mentimeter. You can open the link, and then I'll give you a code. Once you type the code, you'll be able to assign a mark. And later you can tell me, why did you give this particular score? All right. Yes. So let me play the audio now. Okay. I'm going to stop this and share an audio file.
So good morning, everyone. This is Srinivas. I am from Nellore district, from Andhra Pradesh. Today the first activity, I have got the coin which is minted in the year of 1999. So I was in 1999, I was in intermediate course. I have a good memory about the year, but before 2 years, I faced a first failure in my life, that was SSC failure. So my mother took me and said me, So don't worry, my son. Every successful story also a great failures. And she said one thing, and she inspired me a lot with her words. And from that onwards, I didn't face any failure in my academic year. So I thank to my mother entire my life. And after the 1999, exactly 10 years, I got the government job into 2009 as a school assistant English. So fortunately, actually 9th of July. So exactly the last 9th is we have met a great platform here, Regional Institute of English at Bangalore. So thank you very much.
Yes, one just yeah. So you have listened to his speech. Please wait just 1 second. I'm going to share my yes. Now please go to www.menti.com and type 544580 and then assign a mark out of 10. So can you all please open this particular tool, www.menti.com, and type the number 544580. Yeah, they can go to open a new tab. Yes. Open a new tab and then go to menti.com, menti.com, or in the chat window. If you're on YouTube, please type the score in the chat window. You can do that. Yes. Yeah. Please type. Yeah. So you can type it in the chat box. Yes. Yeah. Give him a score out of 10. Yeah, please, can I see it on your chat box in YouTube? Those of you who are watching on YouTube, yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I know. Yes. I can see that. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Okay. 10 out of 10. Yes. So please, yes. Others can also try. Yeah. Let me analyze your score. 1 second. Yes. Let me see the results.
Yes, 9 by 10, 10 by 10.
Okay, all right. Yes. So just wait. I am going to analyze your scores. Okay. And can you also type the reasons? Yeah, please, in the chat box. Why did you give 7? Some of you have given 5. Some have awarded 6. Some have given 8 out of 10. Now the reasons. Why did you give 6, 5, 9, or 8 out of 10? Okay, great. 8 out of 10. But why did you give 8 out of 10? Okay. Yes. So, yes. Only I can see the analysis actually. So only one teacher I think has given less than 5. Now 2% of you have given 5 out of 10. 7% teachers you have given 6. 13% given 7. 24% 8. 21% have given 9, and 33% of teachers have given 10. Okay, 10 out of 10. Okay, if you can justify the score, why have you awarded 8 or 9 out of 10? Can you give some reasons? Okay, yeah. So Pothi Reddy is saying there are some grammatical, all right. And he's, yes. Vijaya Bharati is saying he's able to convey the message. He should, yeah, he would work more hard, all right. And then Sadashiva Sai Gauri is saying confident but lack of grammar. So she has given 8, he has given 8 out of 10. And he has positive attitude towards his future. So I'll give him 9 out of 10. All right. So you're giving 9 out of 10 because his positive attitude towards future. All right. That's fine. Okay. And then what are the other reasons? Due to his confidence. Yes. All right. So there are some mistakes, yes, in his speech. All right. His effort was good, but there are grammatical. Ratna Kumari is saying his effort was good. That's excellent. Very good. Right. And then Sudhakar sir is saying there is some regional influence. All right. Yes. So, all right. Fluency. Yes. Yes. That's all right. Good. Okay. So sentence construction, there is some problem. Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Now let's move on. Let's move on. I'm going to show you the next slide. Yes. Okay. Now listen to teacher B. Here is another teacher. You will listen to Varaprasad, who will introduce himself. All right. He'll talk about himself for about 1 to 2 minutes. What you need to do is, instead of marks, you have to assign a grade. You can assign either A or grade B, C, D, or grade E. These are the 5 grades. Please assign 1 grade based on your listening. Again, you can use Mentimeter. I'll show you the link for the Mentimeter. Yes. So go to Menti, again, www.menti.com, and type 984982, please. Go to the same website, menti.com, and type this number, 984982. Yes. Wait, just wait. Yeah, I'll play the audio now. 1 second. I'll play the audio.
Hi, good morning to one and all. I am Devi Varaprasad, working as school assistant in ZP High School and Suravaram, Tuni Mandal, East Road district of Andhra Pradesh. Feeling proud to say I am the son of a farmer. I am the only son to my parents. I have 2 younger sisters. Both are married. Fortunately, I am married and blessed with 2 daughters. Spending the leisure time in my farm, helping my father and mother gives me more pleasure. Watching movies is my favorite recreation. My aim is to become a lecturer in English. My dream is to speak English so fluently like the newsreaders in BBC channels, HBO channels delivers the speech. I enjoy listening to cricket commentary in Star Sports. It's my privilege to attend the 30-day ELT program in RIE. Today is the second day of the program. I enjoyed the ice-breaking activity conducted by our course coordinator, sir, Dr. C. Ravinarayan garu. I am confident that I can improve my pronunciation after experiencing the language lab yesterday. I would like to learn many things from the faculty and make use of the environment at a maximum. Wishing you the best. Thank you all.
Okay. So that's it. Now let's look at the slides. Yes. Please go to mentimeter.com and type 984982 and assign a grade, please. Assign a grade. Or you can type the grade in the chat box. If you're on YouTube, please assign the grade on the chat box. Okay.
Grade
B,
means
not
ABC,
marks,
okay.
grades, please. Grades.
A to D, sir? A, B, C, D only?
A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. Yes.
A for good.
A for excellent, maybe B for very good. Yeah, I'll come later. Yes. Okay, A. Most of them are giving A, some of them are giving B. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Go on. Yes. Award a grade. All right. Okay. So 2 of the teachers, use Mentimeter if you can. Okay, 2 of you have given E grade. That's quite disappointing, actually. 1 has given B. 7 of you have given C grade. I'm doing the analysis on the Mentimeter platform, actually. So 7 have given C, and 83 teachers, 85 now. It has gone to 85 B grade. 85 teachers, 89 now B grade. If you assign the grade B, 91 now, 91, 92 teachers, 93. All right, 93 teachers have assigned the grade B, whereas 140 teachers have awarded grade A. All right, so more than 140, now 147. So most of you have awarded grade A. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Okay, now what I'll do is, let's look at the slides. All right. Can you all see the screen? Sir, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll just, yes. The current slide, yes. Okay. The question now is, so which do you think is better, marking or grading? Which is a better way of assessing speaking, giving marks or awarding grades? Which is better and why? You can type in the chat box again. Which do you think is better, marking or grading, and why? Yeah, now give reasons. Which is better and why? Reasons. Please type the reasons. Yes. Not reasons for assigning grades. Now the question is, why, if you think giving marks is a better way of assessing speaking, please can you give reasons? Why do you think giving marks out of 10 is better? Or why do you think giving a grade A, B, C, D is better than giving marks? Grading is better. So grading is better. Yeah. Sudharani is saying marking is better. Vijay Lakshmi is also saying giving marks is better. Whereas Bhanu, Rani, and then Vani Sulochana, Leela, Meera, Padma Vegulu, Mani Adari, Srihari saying marking is better, whereas others are saying grading is better. All right. Grading. Ravi Shankar is saying grading is better. Ramarao is saying grading is better. Srinivas Rao Marks says, he says marks is better. Okay, grading. All right. But why? Grading, because, yeah, Madhusudan Rao has typed grading is better because we cannot measure with marks. All right. Grading is easier. Srinu is saying grading is easier. All right. And then Ramadevi feels marking is better. All right. And all right. Okay. Can you think of some reasons? Why do you think grading is better? All right. Yes, grading is better to avoid. Yeah. Okay. To avoid competition, somebody said grading is better to avoid competition. All right. Grading is good for children. Okay. Good for children. What about teachers? Is it also good? All right. So tension. Yeah. Students cannot perform well in a tense. If you say today I'm going to conduct an exam, definitely they'll be tensed. If it is a surprise test, they'll be all the more stressed. So the very word like exam, test, assessment, marking, all these create a lot of tension in the classroom. All right, children are anxious, so they cannot do well. They cannot give their best in an anxiety created situation. Or you will have to make them feel free, so that conducive atmosphere will make them do better. So that's right. But now the question is, see, some of you have given 6 out of 10 to the first speaker. But what does it mean? What does 6 out of 10 mean to you, to the assessor, to the examiner, or what does 6 out of 10 mean to the speaker? See, when I give 6 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, some of you have given 10 out of 10. You're so liberal, so generous, good. But what does this number mean? Does it mean anything to the speaker? What can the speaker infer? What can Shinaya, for example, that particular teacher can understand by this numerical, by the number? See, it doesn't convey much, right? Similarly, just assigning a grade A or B, C, for example, does it mean much? Does it convey any message as such? Maybe it creates a healthy competition in the class. It reduces grading, reduces tension, reduces their anxiety or affective filter. But see, in my opinion, just giving a mark or just assigning a grade doesn't have much significance. It doesn't mean much. It doesn't carry much weight or much meaning. So there is no significance unless you attach some value to it. Right. So what values can you attach? What meaning can you attach to your marks or to your grades? How do you make it more meaningful? All right, how do you interpret this mark, or how do you interpret the grade? That's what Ismail sir was saying. Very good, good, and all that. Yes. So that is some value. A means excellent, B means very good, or C good. So that is some kind of value. So again, when you say very good, what does it mean? What is good? What is not good? If you say below average, average, below average, it doesn't really convey much information to the children or to the speaker. All right. It doesn't give them much feedback. Just giving a number or a grade doesn't help them improve their speech. They neither get positive feedback or feedback for improvement. You're not giving any suggestions. So that is the point I'm trying to make. So how do you describe the score? How do you interpret your judgment? Right. So you must have some descriptors. Scoring should be based on certain criteria. So your assessment should be based on certain descriptors. These are called descriptors, or you can call them parameters or indicators for assessment. I'm sure you're all familiar with these terms: indicators, criteria for assessment. So what could be the criteria for assessing speaking? So we should go beyond giving marks or giving grades, and we should think of some useful descriptors, useful criteria for assessing speaking. So if you look at the global level, for example, this is the criteria used globally. I mean, many European countries, for example, they use CFR scale. CFR is called Common European Framework of Reference. This is a common reference framework for all European countries. They use this for assessing students' ability to use English. They have similar framework for assessing other languages like French or Spanish. All right, these descriptors are applied for assessing speaking skills in English. So common European framework for assessing speaking. All right, so this particular framework has 6 levels. Okay, it starts with A1, A2, then they move on to B1, B2, and then C1, which is the lowest grade and which is the highest grade. Can you guess? Is A1 the lowest grade or C2 is the lowest? As you can see below that, see, A1 means basic, is a basic user of English. A1, A2, there are 2 levels. So if you're a basic user, you will be awarded A1 or A2 grade. If you're intermediate, an average kind of user, independent user, you are at B1 or B2 level, whereas the proficient user of the language is at C1 or C2 level, either C1 or C2 level. So there are 6 levels, and users of the language are divided into 3 levels, like basic, independent, and proficient speakers. Not necessarily speakers, users actually. It looks at all the skills, not only on speaking. They look at listening, speaking, reading, and writing as well, all the 4 skills. Now, you cannot, I know you cannot read anything from the screen. If you go to the website, Common European Framework Reference, you will get all this. You can download them. It's given in your reading material also. The same descriptors are given in the reading material, and there are a few questions based on these frameworks for assessment for your actual test. Okay, so they also have can-do statements. So these descriptors are for teachers to assess their students, whereas these statements are for students to carry out self-assessment. Students can use these can-do statements and assess themselves. Even teachers or any of us can use self-assessment statements and see where do we stand. And if you look at speaking, so even in these self-assessment statements, they have descriptors related to all the 4 skills. But when it comes to speaking, they look at 2 aspects. One is spoken production, and the other one is spoken interaction. So speaking doesn't mean only produce. It's not just production. Speaking also means your ability to interact with the audience. So that's why speaking is divided into spoken production and spoken interaction. So when we say production, it means your ability to produce English, and ability to, yes, for example, A1. If you look at A1 level, the statement goes like this. I can use simple phrases and sentences to describe where I live and also to describe people I know. So the basic level, A1, I can use very simple phrases and sentences to describe the place or to describe the people I know. All right, familiar, I can talk about familiar topics. Whereas B1, the next level, the statement is like this. I can connect phrases in a simple way. So I can use different phrases, connect them in order to describe experiences and events. So it's not just describing places and people. We're going beyond that to describe experiences and events, dreams, hopes, and ambitions. And I can briefly give reasons and explanations for opinions and plans. I can give reasons for and explanations for my opinions. I can justify my opinions. I can narrate a story or relate the plot of a book or film and describe my reaction. So it's a higher level, B1. C1 is at a much higher level. All right. That is spoken production. I can use. I can give reasons. I can narrate a story. Whereas when it comes to spoken interaction, see, the basic level is like this. I can interact in a simple way, provided the other person is prepared to repeat or rephrase things at a slower rate of speech and help me formulate what I'm trying to say. So this is the basic level. I can interact in a simple way, provided the other person speaks slowly and he's ready to repeat or rephrase what he says, he or she says. And then A1 also means I can ask and answer simple questions in areas of immediate need or on very familiar topics. See, the most basic level, I can ask simple questions to get answers on familiar topics. Whereas C2, the highest level, means I can take part effortlessly in any conversation or discussion and have a good familiarity with idiomatic expressions and colloquialisms. So look at that. You're almost like a native speaker. You can play with language. You can speak effortlessly. You can take part in any conversation or discussion effortlessly without any problem, any difficulty. And you can use idiomatic expressions and colloquial language. You're aware of formal, informal language. And then you can express, say, I can express myself fluently and convey finer shades of meaning precisely. So you can decide. If you look at the descriptors, you can judge yourself. Where do you stand? Do you stand at A1 level, A2? I'm sure many of us stand at B1 or B2 level. That is basic, and then independent and proficient. We stand at independent level. There are miles to go before we reach the highest level, that is C2, where you are called a very proficient speaker of English. Right? If you think you're a proficient speaker, then you should be able to take part in conversations, any discussions on any topics, and use phrases, idioms, and formal, informal words and expressions and things like that. So much higher. Right. Now, if you look at, so I'm just trying to share different models that we have for assessing speaking skills. This is another framework which is used again internationally in all European and European countries, even in America, Australia. It's called IELTS. I'm sure some of you are familiar with this International English Language Testing System, a very competitive exam which tests your ability to use English in terms of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So when it comes to speaking, these are the band descriptors. All right, this is a public version that I'm using, which you can download from the website. So IELTS, International English Language Testing System, they make use of 4 important criteria for testing speaking. All right, so one is fluency and coherence. They assess your fluency and coherence. They also look at lexical resource, and then they assess grammatical range and accuracy. And finally, they also look at pronunciation. So these are the 4 major criteria used for the assessment of speaking: fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammar, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. Now, what do these mean? These 4 speaking criteria relate to different areas of spoken English skills. So when we say fluent coherence, what does it mean? So it means how easy is it for you to keep speaking? Is it easy for you to keep speaking? All right. And then do you pause or hesitate often when speaking? Do your ideas relate to the question? So if the teacher asks a few questions, for example, is a child able to relate his ideas to the question asked? Are you able to, are the ideas relevant to the topic? And then can you link your ideas together? So coherence. Can you link the ideas together? Can you explain what you mean, even if you forget the right word? That is called rephrasing, all right, reformulating. So first one or two questions refer to fluency. Is it easy? How easy is it for you to keep speaking? Do you pause or hesitate often when speaking? It's related to fluency. And then the remaining three questions are related to coherence. Do your ideas relate to the question? Can you link your ideas together? Can you rephrase? That's what we mean by fluency and coherence. And then when we say lexical resource, what it means is your ability to use a wide range of vocabulary. So how wide is your vocabulary? How accurately do you use words? Do you use collocations accurately? I'm sure you're familiar with these words like collocations, words which always go together. All right. For example, breakout. Breakout is a collocation. Or my car broke down when I was traveling, broke down. Words which go together, combination of broke down, a verb and an adjective, or a verb and an adverb, a verb and a particle, that kind of combination, a verb and an adjective, that's called collocation. All right. So do you use collocations accurately? Do you use some less common words? All right. So lexical resources, mainly your ability to use a range of words, phrases, and expressions, idiomatic expressions again. And then in this competitive exam is your ability to use grammar. So do you use a range of structures? So grammatical range means a range of structures. Are you able to use simple, compound, complex sentences, active, passive voice, for example, if necessary, or direct, indirect speech? Are you able to use these in different contexts? So that's what is meant by a range of structures. And then do you get the word order right? Are you able to use the right word order? And then do you use the right tense? So your knowledge of tense forms. See, according to the topic, you may have to use past tense sometimes. So if you look at the first activity, the Shinaya who spoke about the coin. So what is the tense he used? It was mainly past tense. In that particular year, I was doing this, I did that, past tense forms, either simple past or past tense. So are you aware of different tense forms? If you're introducing yourself, maybe you have to use present tense forms. All right. If I'm asking a question about your future, then you have to use future forms. For example, if the question is, what did you do last weekend? What did you do yesterday? You should use past tense forms. What are you doing now? Present tense forms. What will you do next week? Future form. So do you use the right tense? And how often do you make mistakes? So that's called accuracy. So first 2 or 3 questions refer to grammatical range, and next set of questions refer to accuracy. How often do you make mistakes? Do your mistakes make it difficult to understand what you mean? See, do the mistakes affect comprehension? Certain mistakes are okay, but if it affects if the listener is not able to understand what you're trying to say because of too many mistakes, then it affects your speech. So in IELTS, they also look at grammatical range and accuracy, and then pronunciation, which is equally important. So do you speak clearly? Now, speed is not a criteria. Patterns, stress patterns, and is your speech clear? That's what is being assessed. Okay, so now in IELTS, actually they give 9 bands up to 9. So it goes from 0 to 9. 9 is the highest band. Whereas if you, when it comes to classroom assessment, maybe you can think of marks like this. If you're awarding out of 10. So again, going back to Shinaya's speech or Varaprasad's speech, when I asked you to give marks out of 10, all right. So the thing is, you should have some criteria like this. You cannot just give marks. So you could have asked me, so sir, what is the criteria for assessment? How to give marks? How to give a grade? So marks can be divided into grades as well. So whether you award marks or grades, what is important is the teacher should have certain descriptors, certain criteria. And it's good to share this criteria with students as well. So when we say fluency and coherence, you can award 10 marks and then you have different levels. 10 means the highest score, speaks fluently with only rare repetition or self-correction. See, some of you gave 10 out of 10 for the first speaker, 10 out of 10. Now you have to ask yourself, was he able to speak fluently without much? Was he able to speak coherently with fully appropriate cohesive devices? And then did he develop the topic fully and appropriately? Ask yourself. So it's not, somebody said he has a positive attitude towards life. He sounded confident. There is confidence. So it's not just confidence. We are looking at their language ability. All right. So when you assess somebody's speaking, fluency and coherence are important. And then if you're giving 8, so in between there is 9, you don't have to have descriptors for each and every score. So that is what 10 means. Whereas if you're giving 8, it means he or she is able to speak fluently with only occasional repetition or self-correction. That's it. And if you're giving 6, then he's willing to speak at length, though he may lose coherence at times. He may be, involving in self-correction. He may be hesitant. So some of you gave 6 out of 10. I think that is justifiable. That is a very reasonable score. He's willing to speak at length, but he loses coherence at times, and he repeats certain things. He self-corrects. All right. Whereas 5 would be too low. So 4 means he cannot respond without noticeable pauses, and he may speak slowly with frequent repetition, self-correction. That's not the case with speaker A. All right. 2 means pauses lengthily before most words. Every now and then he keeps pausing, and there is little communication possible. And 1 means no communication is possible. Okay. And next, vocabulary. Again, out of 10, if you're assessing someone's speech, out of 10, then 10 highest score means, so you cannot just give 10. 10 means he is able to use a wide vocabulary resource flexibly, and he uses less common and idiomatic expressions skillfully. Look at that. Look at each word. I think it's very important. Use a wide vocabulary resource readily and flexibly to convey precise meaning. Look at that. And uses less common and idiomatic vocabulary skillfully. Uses paraphrase effectively, is able to summarize. All right. So look at the first speech audio that I played. So can you give 10 or 8 or 6? So 8 means uses vocabulary resource flexibly to discuss a variety of topics, uses less common vocabulary, whereas 6 manages to talk about familiar and unfamiliar topic, but uses vocabulary with limited flexibility. All right. So that's what is meant by vocabulary. Grammar. 10, excellent knowledge of grammar. All right, he is extremely good at grammar. He uses a full range of structures naturally and appropriately, and then he produces consistently accurate structures. Absolutely no mistakes. He's like a native speaker of English. All right, whereas 8, he uses a range of complex structures with some flexibility. He frequently produces error-free sentences. So I don't think speaker A deserves 8 because there are some sentences with grammatical errors. All right. So 6 would be most appropriate. Again, he uses a mixed structures. There are some simple sentences. There are also complex sentences, but with limited flexibility. He may make frequent mistakes with complex structures. Simple sentences is fine. Whereas when he attempts to construct complex sentences, maybe he or she makes some mistakes. All right. 4 is able to produce basic sentence forms and some correct simple sentences. And 2 is cannot produce even basic sentence forms. So 1, there's no communication possible. And 0 means he's not made an attempt. Okay, pronunciation again. Pronunciation 10 means uses a full range of pronunciation features with precision and subtlety. All right, excellent pronunciation, effortless to understand. You can speak effortlessly with good intonation, stress patterns. 8, a wide range of pronunciation features with occasional lapses. All right, whereas 6 means show some effective use of pronunciation features, but this is not. And then there may be some mispronunciation of individual words. See, somebody talked about regional influence. Yes, 6 means maybe there is a strong influence of regional language. Maybe he or she is mispronouncing individual words or sounds, which reduces clarity at times. All right. And 2 is speech is often unintelligible. All right. So this is what I mean by criteria or descriptive. When you have such clear descriptors, you can make a rational judgment of somebody's speech. All right. It's easy to justify the score, and it also helps us give feedback. So all these descriptors, they're very useful. You can use them to give feedback to someone, right? Okay, now let us do an activity. Okay, a simple activity. Please look at the picture. I want you to study the picture carefully and then think about it for 1 or 2 minutes. We'll be silent and think, brainstorm. Who is this picture about? What is it about? All right, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? Think of these questions and I want you to speak. All right, so just think, take 2 minutes. You can brainstorm, jot down your ideas, make notes in your notebook, and then try to speak on based on this picture. All right, try to make a short speech. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes time. Please generate ideas, see what's happening here, what is the background like, think about it, and then I want you to speak. Yeah. So Ismail Garu sir, is it possible for some of them to switch on their audio and speak?
Sorry,
Can
sir. Actually, they are offline, no?
Yeah, they can't
We'll
speak.
try in next session, sir. We'll invite
All
you.
right. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So on YouTube they cannot speak, right?
Yes, sir. Not possible.
They can only watch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, right.
In the next sessions, we'll plan for that, sir.
Oh,
Previously,
yes.
we have done that also.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what you can do is you can just type 3 or 4 sentences in the chat box on YouTube. I just want you to type a few sentences related to the picture. Yes, let's see whether your sentences flow naturally, whether you're able to connect your ideas and then use different words and phrases. Keep all those descriptors in mind: fluency, coherence, vocabulary, phrases and idiomatic expressions if necessary, grammar, and the pronunciation. Of course, when you're writing, pronunciation doesn't come into effect. All right. Okay. Just try to construct a small paragraph. Yes. Okay. Yes. Please type in the chat box. Yes. Yes. He's crying. All right. He's sadly talking. Who is he talking to? You'll have to connect one sentence with another, and you have to construct a discourse. All right. Yes. Okay. He's depressed. He's crying. He's so sad. He has lost his dearest one. Okay. Suresh Garu is saying he has lost his dearest one. And Prasad Rao is saying he's worried about his family from Corona. Okay. All right. And then, yes, crying, yes, all of us know. Yes. And Shyam Iluri is saying he's crying because of lockdown. Okay. Sri Lakshmi is saying the other person is not able to communicate clearly, or this person is not able to understand the language of the other. That's why he's crying. Okay. Maybe. All right. Talking about a sad topic. Right. And Koneti Srinivas Garu is saying listening to some bad news. All right. Yeah. Killu Rambabu Garu is saying something has happened to his family. All right. Yes. he may be a Srilakshmi Achanta is saying he may be a daily wage worker working all the day and explaining his agony to his family members in his hometown. Very good. I'm so happy. Yes. Yes, he's in a position. All right. He's received sad news. Sushila, madam is saying he's received bad news. Yes, Padmalata, bad news. Yes. Okay. Go on. Please type your responses. Yes. He's crying, we know, but go to the next sentence. He's crying, yes, but why is he crying? Who is he? Why is he crying? What do you think has happened to him or his family? All right. Yes, go on. Type a few more sentences. I'm trying to assess your ideas. Are you able to connect another? All right. Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah, Srilata, yes, that person has some problem. Yes, but imagine. See, when you're describing a picture, you have to imagine. Imagination is very important. You cannot just say he's of some reason. He has some problem. Yeah, think of a problem. What do you think is a problem? Be very specific. Yes. So Nageshwar Rao Garu is saying he may be listening to unhappy news. He's sharing a bad news. All right, with his friends and relatives. So he's worried. All right. He's looking tense. And Jagadamba, she's saying, is he looking aggressive? Yeah, I mean, aggressive may not be the right word. Yes. Okay. Yes. So he's lost. Swati Lakshmi is saying he's lost somebody or he's lost something. Yes, that's right. Okay. Sheshagiri Rao sir is saying he is a migrant worker. All right. And then Chinnabba Rekha, he is wearing a mask and maybe he's listening to his family members or friends' death due to corona. So he's worried about that thing, that incident. All right. Very good. Excellent. All right. So what is important is your ability to think, generate ideas, and describe the picture and deliver a coherent speech. So when you're speaking based on a picture like this, these 4 important criteria you'll have to keep in mind. Are you able to speak fluently with coherence? Are you able to build an argument, a coherent argument? All right. And then are you able to use a wide range of vocabulary? And then are you able to use appropriate grammatical structures? And finally, your pronunciation. When you speak, the pronunciation does matter. Right? So that is a small activity to just make a session. Actually, I'm sure some of you have seen this picture on social media or on newspapers. He's actually a migrant laborer, right? He's a migrant laborer who is suffering because of the lockdown. All right, this happened during this COVID-19 pandemic. He has walked thousands of miles and he's stuck in a particular place. He was not allowed to move. So that is a background. Actually, you need to have. So if I give you more time, I'm sure each one of you will be able to think and narrate his experiences. I'm sure you'll be able to put yourselves in his place and share your feelings and thoughts. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to speak well on the given topic. All right. So when you assess children's speaking, when you look at your students' ability to speak, so what is also important is validity of assessment and reliability of assessment. See, when you listen to the first speech, speaker, for example, I'm referring back to this because your scores were not reliable. Somebody gave 9, somebody gave 10, some of you gave 8, 7, 6, which means scores are not reliable. You're not consistent. Each one is assigning a particular mark or a particular grade because you didn't have the criteria. So your score is not reliable. It is not, it may be valid, but it's not reliable. Validity means you should know what you're assessing. If you're assessing their speaking, then you should design tasks which elicit their responses. All right. So these two concepts are important, validity and reliability, when you assess students' speaking skills. And then you can either use an analytical scale or a holistic scale. So what you can do is you can think of activities for assessing vocabulary. So build their vocabulary in the first place at the primary level. I think it's very, very important to do a lot of activities before you think of even assessment. So before you assess, you have to prepare students with a lot of activities. So it's a good idea to design activities for vocabulary practice, for developing vocabulary. Then you can think of assessing their vocabulary. Also, you need to design activities to develop their pronunciation. So if you do a lot of practice to improve their pronunciation, then you can think of assessments. Without giving them practice, you cannot do assessment. So your assessment is not valid. Okay, so think of activities for practice and also for assessment. Activities for assessing grammar, give them a lot of input, all right, and then think of assessment activities. Similarly, activities for assessing fluency and coherence, all right. So can I take another 10 minutes, Ismail, sir?
Yes, sir.
10 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So another important concept in assessment is it's called task repetition, all right. It's important to repeat the same task 2 or 3. If you do task one time, maybe you yourself cannot give your best. Students definitely cannot perform well at one go. See this picture that you look, picture of a migrant laborer. On the spot, nobody can speak without getting time for preparation. So preparatory time is important. You need a lot of information, data. You need to collect ideas from different sources. The topic is familiar, maybe you can speak, but if it is not so familiar, you need time. You need to prepare well. All right. So first attempt, you may not be able to give your best. So give them another chance. Do the same activity after 2 or 3 days. That's called task repetition. So what I'm going to play 2 more audios. So this same activity, it's called coin activity, which we did on the first day of the training. And I did the same activity after 5 or 6 days. All right, so speaking activity done on week 1, same activity done on week 2. You can compare the performance of the teacher. All right, how did she perform on the first day and how did she perform after a couple of days? All right, so what I'll do is, yes, I'm going to play an audio now. Just give me 1 minute.
I got the coins 2013. Those were the early days of mine when I started doing meditation. I started heartfulness meditation and I have undergone training there in Heartfulness Institute. Only through that I realized many things and started feeling more confident and treating everything, accepting everything in a more positive way than before. And I show a lot of interest in learning, in listening more than I like to speak less and learn more from others. Thank you.
Okay, that was on the very first day of the training. All right, please remember. And after weeks time, same topic, but the year is different. All right, see how she speaks after a couple of days. If you do the same activity after a couple of days, the performance will significantly improve. So I'm going to show you this. I show you the same teacher speaking on the same topic. Okay, so
Very good afternoon. I'm Arundhati. I have got this 1999 year coin. This was the year when I had got married, my husband. So actually this was a very crucial year where I had to stop my studies and I had to get married and I had to stay in a village and where all my education had stopped and there was no room for me to get education further to go for higher studies. And at that time I was in a state of disappointment where I couldn't express anything with anybody else and I was struggling a lot within myself to overcome all those difficulties. And I had even tried initially when I got married in the same year my grandfather was expired and at that moment I couldn't go ahead with I wrote an entrance exam in B.Ed at that time, and I couldn't get a seat in that, and that made me more that how to overcome this, and really that built a strong determination that I had to achieve a B.Ed seat in that, and I had to become a teacher at that moment. At that moment I started thinking, but I waited for an opportunity, and I was ready to grab that opportunity whenever it comes, and at last now I have become a teacher, and I'm very happy.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this concept of task. So what happens when you repeat a task? So in the first performance, on the very first day, she spoke for about 42 seconds. She spoke only seconds, whereas next week she spoke for about 1 minute and 27 seconds. All right, she spoke more. So that is one of the improvements she has made in terms of speak. And next, first speech, it's a low voice. She was not, I mean, it was not, she was not timid. She was a bit shy. So obviously she lacked confidence. Whereas in the second performance, she sounded very confident and it sounded natural. She talks about her family. She smiles. All right. So it sounds very natural. So first performance, there is a lot of hesitation. The same activity, when it is done for the second time, she looks confident. She speaks naturally. She begins with a greeting and then she introduces herself, which was all missing in the first attempt. And again, first performance, she said, I show a lot of interest in listening and learning more. So towards the end, she said, I show a lot of interest in listening and learning more, which is not related to the topic. The topic is about the year in which the coin was minted. What were you doing? Whereas in the second performance, all the sentences were relevant. They were related to the topic. So there is coherence. And then first performance, she said, got the coin 2013. So look at that sentence. I got the coin 2013. Second performance, I've got this 1999 year coin. So I'm not saying sentences are perfect in the second attempt. There are still mistakes, but when she did the activity second time, she was able to do much better. There was significant improvement in her performance. And then she said, this was the year when I got married. So look at that sentence, complex sentence. This was the year when I got married. It's not a simple sentence. It's a complex sentence. So maybe first performance, she has used mostly simple sentences. The same activity is done after a couple of days. She was able to construct simple, compound, and complex sentences. She spoke more. And then in the first performance, there were many repetitions, false starters, all right. Many fillers she has used. Whereas in the second performance, look at these, the range of vocabulary. I had even tried. She's able to use past perfect form. I had to become a teacher. She had to become a teacher at that moment. And at that time, look at the linkers, conjunctions, linkers, such cohesive devices used. So this won't happen in the very first attempt. This will happen with feedback. See, when she spoke for the first time, the teacher listened to her. I, the trainer, listened to her speech. I gave some feedback, suggestions for improvement. When I did the same activity in the next week, she put her efforts and she has shown significant progress. And then she actually, a range of discourse markers, she was able to connect one sentence with another. So that is an improvement. Maybe these are the small, I'm not saying that, I mean, there are leaps, I mean, her improvement is in leaps and bounds, all right. These are, I mean, but still you can see the progress is visible. There is some visible improvement in her ability to speak. So your students also, so give them time, do the same task 2-3 times. There is no harming in doing the same task even. But the thing is, now this is important, learning language through task repetition. They learn language. They're not only speaking, they're also acquiring language. Okay, language acquisition. How does language acquisition happen? Through task repetition. It's based on a sound argument made by Martin Beigate, actually. And then Scott Thornbury, in a recent webinar, he talked about task repetition and the advantages of task repetition. So second performance, yes, there is improvement. And Scott Thornbury in his webinar, he says It is a systematic repetition. It is not reproduction of the same thing. She's not reproducing the same thing that she said in the first speech. So even the task that I repeated, it is a systematic repetition. And then it helps the speaker to activate and reactivate the same set of cognitive processes. There's a lot of thinking that's happening. She has to activate, reactivate the same set of cognitive processes. All right. And then fluency, it happens in the brain, constant thinking, generating ideas. So that there is, this kind of mental rehearsal is happening. So it's not mindless rote memorization. It is not rote repetition. It's not mechanical repetition. It's meaningful, systematic repetition. So there is planning. The speaker, the teacher here, all right, or your students, for example, they have to plan, they have to assemble thoughts, connect ideas, and then repeat in a genuinely communicative context. They have to make it communicate. They have to convey the message, all right? And it's not repetition at the level of words, not even at the level of sentences. It's a complete speech, all right, a discourse. And then it's not like drilling. You're not a drilling activity. It is repeating the cognitive processes, actually. You're repeating the cognitive processes, all right? So constant thinking happens, critical thinking, creative imagination, all that takes place in the brain. So these are the advantages of task repetition. And then Martin Beignet, in his book published in 2018, he talks about task input. All right, so that is a kind of input the teacher has to give. You have to give for your students. Give them time to plan, to rehearse, and then ask them to perform. That is performance 1. Then they reflect, they get feedback from the teacher. Then you repeat the activity. All right, so first give the topic, give them instructions, help them discuss in groups. That is planning, rehearsal. All right, preparatory time. And then you go for performance. Students perform. And then the teacher gives feedback. Students reflect on their speech. And then you repeat the task. So they perform for the second time. And then third performance, fourth performance. You will definitely see a lot of progress, gradual growth in their speech. But again, the important thing, sir, what you need to remember is you need to change one variable. It's the same task, but change one variable. For example, coin minted. So first time she got a coin minted in one particular year. Second time, the year was different. So coin minted and change one aspect of the task. So same task, but change the variable. Same or change the mode. From speaking, you can move on to writing. From reading, first you can make them read and then speak. Or from unrecorded speaking, then you can start recording their speech. And first you are focusing on fluency. When you repeat the task, you can focus more on accuracy, right? So these things are important. And Scott Thornberry says you have to revisit the text. Revisiting the text after a month. Same text, same. How many of us do that? See, we don't generally do that. Once the unit is taught, a lesson is taught, then we forget it completely and recall the lesson only at the time of the test or exam. We don't revisit the same unit, same lessons after a couple of days, after a month. It's not recapitulation, things like that. It's a cognitive process. Doing it with a purpose, with a meaningful purpose. All right. So revisiting the lessons, revisit the text, written text or printed materials, and repeating tasks. These are all very, very useful. Okay, so this is the last slide. I'm going to conclude my talk with this slide. These are some of the classroom assessment tasks which will help you to assess your students' speaking abilities. There are plenty of such tasks. I'm giving you only a few examples. I mean, at the primary level, maybe we all begin with reading aloud tasks. We can do it in a meaningful manner again, not just mechanical reading. So you can think of reading aloud tasks, repetition tasks, some tasks where students have to just repeat either word level repetition or sentence level repetition. Say class 1, class 2 children, that is what they can do at the most. You can help them read aloud, you can help them repeat words, sentences, and then you can elicit responses, maybe in words, phrases, or simple sentences. These are called elicitation tasks. And then you can give them sentence completion tasks. An incomplete sentence is given, they have to complete the sentence. You can think of dialogue completion tasks. Yesterday, for example, Shobha Madam and Madhavi, she gave a very good demonstration. I was so happy. She did some speaking activities as well. There were some sentence completion activities, dialogue completion tasks, there were role plays, And then, yeah, you can also think of translation tasks. Give them words in their mother, in Telugu. Give them words in Telugu. Let them give the words in English, or give them sentences in Telugu, translate it into English, and vice versa will also help. All right, giving words in Telugu, English, asking them in Telugu. I mean, these activities are useful. Again, grade 1, grade 2, and then you can think of question and answer activities, and then genuine questions, not textbook comprehension kind of questions, genuine questions. What did you do? What did you do last weekend? Which film do you like the best? Things like that. All right. So question and answer, and then paraphrasing. They'll read, they'll summarize in their own sentences. Then picture cue tasks, show them pictures, give them picture as a cue, and then do speaking tasks. Role plays, you can have individual, or you can have pair or group discussions. You can also have presentation activities. There are a lot of such activities you can do to give them practice and also for assessment purposes. That is all for today. These are some of the references, and I think we can have a short question and answer session. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patient hearing and for your active participation. Over to you, Ismail, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank language where we need to use or something.
Making formative judgments, a series of tasks, formative tasks, and based on which you give feedback, you make judgment about their skills. Whereas assessment has many more other implications, right? Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Again, that Pushparashu Gidulur is asking that what is impromptu type of speech?
Impromptu type of speech is one type of speaking activity where students speak the spur of the moment. All right, instantaneous speech without any preparation. They have to speak impromptu speech, or you can also call it extempore. 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 Extempore means speaking on the given topic on the spot speech. That is impromptu, without any prompts, without any clues, without any support. Impromptu. Yeah. On the spot.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank
Another
you.
question.
Yes.
Vaidehi P. She is asking that is we need to assess as you have done here for primary and high school students also speaking assessment.
Yes. That is what I mean. See, we generally focus on reading and writing. Even most of the tests and examinations test students' reading and writing skills. We don't spend enough time on speaking, listening and speaking skills. So speaking, as you know, is very important these days. Students need to communicate their thoughts and ideas, not only in English class, even in other subjects. So if something is inside, unless you express what is inside your mind, you'll not be able to stand out from others, right? So these days it's very, very important to achieve that communicative skill. Communication, speech, these are all important acts, not only in the classroom, in the school, even in the world outside the class. So you have to conduct speaking activities, give them a lot of practice, and also think of assessment activities for testing speaking. I think, yeah.
Thank you very much for good answer,
Yes,
sir. Cheruvi Azulu
Yeah,
is
thank you.
asking difference between clarity and fluency.
Clarity and fluency. Yes. I mean, clarity refers to pronunciation. Are you able to pronounce sounds and words clearly? The ability to speak without much silence. Okay. So if you're silent for too long, that means you're either thinking about the words or thinking about language grammar. That is fluency. All right. Whereas clarity is clarity of words, clarity of pronunciation. Here, when it comes to speaking, what we mean is clarity of your pronunciation. Accent should be clear, intelligible, should be easily understood by the listener. That is clarity.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hope I
Still, there are so many
have
questions.
answered your question.
Yes. Then
Yeah.
there are so many questions still waiting for us, but time will not permit.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you
that's
very
right.
much, sir.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
really, there are some technical glitches, but no, the presentation is very excellent, sir. I have also,
Thank you so
though
much,
I
sir.
am looking tense about these technical issues, I have gone through your
Yeah.
presentation. We impressed
Yeah.
so much, sir.
Thank you
So,
for your support, sir. Yeah.
thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
And we'll
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ismail Garu, sir. Thank you, all the teachers, for your patience and for your active participation throughout. Thank you.
thank you very much, sir. We are signing out for today. We'll meet tomorrow with another fresh topic. Till then, namaste and bye bye.